He wanted to purchase the Buffalo Bills. Oh, yeah. And the price tag was at about $1.4 billion at that time. He had about $1.1 billion.
He did?
And yeah, that's what he said. That's what they said.
What he said.
I'm just telling you what they said.
Stephen A. Smith took The View by storm, igniting immediate tension with his bold opinions. His clash with the hosts, especially Sonny Hostin, was electric from the very first moment.
Black men being very comfortable with matriarchy, and I agree with that because, you know, Black households are often led by a grandmother.
Yes.
This wasn't just another guest appearance. It was a fiery debate that kept viewers glued to their screens from start to finish. Stephen A.'s fearless approach and unapologetic stance transformed the conversation into a gripping exchange of ideas, starkly contrasting sports commentary with mainstream media narratives. This showdown set a new standard, showcasing that Stephen A. Smith is not one to back down when it comes to expressing his truth. From the moment he sat down, Stephen A.'s energy was palpable. His directness and willingness to tackle controversial topics head-on created an atmosphere of anticipation.
However, 55% of Latino men voted for Trump. Why do you think that happened?
Well, viewers could sense that this was more than just a discussion. It was a battle of ideologies. As he articulated his points with passion and precision, the dynamic shifted, making every subsequent statement carry significant weight. The tension between him and Sonny was not just a clash of personalities, but a clash of fundamentally different worldviews, making the episode a must-watch for anyone interested in the intersection of sports, politics, and media.
Well, I think that economically, they were looking at things. First of all, you've got, in this country, you've got Cubans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Venezuelans, Colombians, et cetera, et cetera. And if you talk to the Hispanic community, depending on who you're talking to, they think differently. The Cubans think differently.
From the moment he sat down, Stephen A.'s energy was palpable. His directness and willingness to tackle controversial topics head-on created an atmosphere of anticipation. Viewers could sense that this was more than just a discussion. It was a battle of ideologies. As he articulated his points with passion and precision, the dynamic shifted, making every subsequent statement carry significant weight. The tension between him and Sonny was not just a clash of personalities, but a clash of fundamentally different worldviews, making the episode a must-watch for anyone interested in the intersection of sports, politics, and media. Stephen A. didn't just participate in the conversation, he reshaped it.
Yes.
Black grandmother or Black mother. I'm Puerto Rican, right? So the Hispanic community is not a monolith.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. Right. And a lot of, I think, people that are of Hispanic origin from, let's say, South America or Central America, they're willing to close the door behind them instead of letting somebody else.
Addressing the Republican Party, he dismantled the notion that it's merely an extreme fringe, a perspective that sharply diverged from what Sonny Hostin had anticipated. His straightforward refutation wasn't just a statement. It was a declaration that complexities exist beyond simplistic labels. By challenging these entrenched narratives, Stephen A. forced both the hosts and the audience to reconsider their preconceived notions about political affiliations. This bold move not only heightened the debate, but also underscored the importance of nuanced political discourse in today's polarized environment. He elaborated on the diversity within the Republican Party, highlighting members who prioritize economic growth, national security, and personal freedoms. Stephen A. emphasized that labeling an entire party as extremist overlooks the varied and legitimate concerns that its members hold. This perspective was a direct challenge to the often binary portrayal of political parties in mainstream media, advocating instead for a more balanced and informed understanding. By bringing this depth to the conversation, Stephen A. not only educated the viewers, but also set a precedent for more meaningful political discussions on mainstream platforms. Stephen A. Smith introduced himself as a fiscal conservative and social liberal, a combination that immediately piqued interest. This unique blend of beliefs highlights his opposition to high taxes and support for economic prudence, while simultaneously advocating for personal freedoms and social tolerance. Such a stance is rarely given airtime in mainstream media, which often favors more polarized viewpoints. By presenting this balanced perspective, Stephen A. not only broadened the scope of the discussion, but also provided a refreshing alternative to the typical political rhetoric. His ability to navigate these often conflicting ideologies showcased his depth and understanding of complex socioeconomic issues.
You've been asked, I hear, about running for political office in the future, and some people have said that they could see you running for president. Would you do that? You think you qualified to run for president? I mean, the bar is pretty low
Hell
anyway.
no.
He delved into how fiscal conservatism drives his advocacy for lower taxes and reduced government spending, believing that economic efficiency leads to better societal outcomes. On the other hand, his social liberalism shines through his support for individual rights, equality, and progressive social policies. This duality challenges the conventional narratives that force individuals to fit into predefined ideological boxes. Stephen A.'s articulation of these beliefs demonstrated that political identity can be multifaceted, encouraging viewers to embrace a more nuanced approach to their own political affiliations and beliefs. Delving into the contentious topic of transgender athletes in sports, Stephen A. didn't hold back. He criticized the existing policy, highlighting concerns about fairness and competition. His arguments went beyond surface-level debates, addressing the broader implications these policies have on the integrity of sports. Sonny Hostin responded by labeling these discussions as ridiculous, a stance that Stephen A. promptly challenged. He emphasized that dismissing these concerns oversimplifies the issue and disregards the genuine worries of parents and athletes alike. This exchange brought to light the multifaceted nature of the debate, illustrating that it's not just a fringe issue, but one that resonates deeply with many stakeholders in the sports community. Stephen A. provided concrete examples of how current policies might affect competitive balance, citing instances where athletic performance advantages could disrupt fair play. He also touched on the psychological and social impacts on athletes, stressing the importance of creating inclusive yet equitable environments. By addressing both sides of the argument, he showcased his commitment to finding balanced solutions that respect individual identities while maintaining the integrity of sports competitions. This nuanced approach added depth to the conversation, moving beyond partisan talking points to explore the real-world implications of these policies. Stephen A. tackled the often dismissed topic of voter information, challenging the cliché that voters are simply uninformed. He acknowledged the everyday struggles people face, making it difficult to stay updated amidst life's constant demands. This reality check was a direct response to the common argument that urges individuals to read more or listen more to be better informed. Sonny Hostin suggested practical solutions like tuning into the news during daily routines, but Stephen A. countered by highlighting the inherent biases in the media landscape. He argued that simply changing the channel isn't enough to achieve a balanced perspective, as media outlets often skew narrative. This segment underscored the complex staying informed in a fragmented media environment and the challenges voters face. He illustrated how information overload and partisan media contribute to voter fatigue, making it challenging for individuals to discern factual information from biased reporting. Stephen A. advocated for critical thinking and media literacy as essential tools for voters to navigate this landscape effectively. By emphasizing the need for a more discerning approach to consuming news, he encouraged viewers to seek out diverse sources and engage in thoughtful analysis rather than passive consumption. This perspective not only addressed the issue of misinformation, but also empowered viewers to take control of their information intake, fostering a more informed and engaged electorate. Exploring the surprising trend of Latino men voting for Trump, Stephen A. dismantled the oversimplified notion that entire ethnic groups share uniform political views. He pointed out the diverse opinions and priorities within different Hispanic subcommunities, such as Cuban, Puerto Rican, and Mexican groups. By doing so, he highlighted that these communities are not monolithic, but are instead composed of individuals with unique experiences and perspectives. This nuanced analysis challenged the host's initial assumptions and provided a deeper understanding of the factors influencing voting behaviors. Stephen A.'s insights revealed the intricate tapestry of cultural and socioeconomic influences that shape political decisions within these communities. He delved into how historical contexts, economic conditions, and cultural values vary significantly among Hispanic subgroups, leading to different political priorities and affiliations. For instance, Cuban Americans may prioritize national security and anti-communism, while Mexican Americans might focus more on immigration reform and economic opportunities. By highlighting these distinctions, Stephen A. emphasized the importance of recognizing and respecting the diversity within ethnic communities. This approach not only provided a more accurate portrayal of voting trends, but also encouraged viewers to move beyond stereotypes and engage with the complexities of political behavior within diverse populations. Stephen A. delivered a scathing critique of mainstream media's tendency to simplify complex issues into easily digestible narratives. He argued that this approach often strips away the nuances and oversimplifies the realities voters face. By reducing multifaceted topics to bite-sized sound bites, the media fails to capture the true essence of public concern. Stephen A. emphasized that voters are more discerning and aware than often portrayed, and they seek solutions that address their immediate needs rather than ideological extremes. He also pointed out that political parties tend to cater to the loudest voices on either end of the spectrum, neglecting the broader, more moderate electorate. This critique highlighted the disconnect between media portrayals and the actual priorities of voters, calling for a more authentic and comprehensive approach to politics. But that wasn't the whole story. Stephen A. delved deeper, questioning how media narratives influence voter perception and decision-making. He illustrated how selective reporting and sensationalism can distort the public's understanding of issues, leading to misinformed opinions and misguided policy. By holding a mirror to the media's role in shaping political landscapes, Stephen A. urged both journalists and viewers to strive for greater integrity and responsibility in reporting. He proposed that media outlets adopt more balanced reporting practices, ensuring that multiple perspectives are represented and that complex issues are explored in depth rather than skimmed over superficially. Furthermore, Stephen A. discussed the impact of social media and digital platforms in amplifying certain narratives while sidelining others. He pointed out that the algorithm-driven nature of these platforms often creates echo chambers, where individuals are exposed primarily to information that reinforces their existing beliefs. This phenomenon exacerbates polarization and makes it even harder for voters to access unbiased and comprehensive information. By addressing these modern challenges, Stephen A. highlighted the urgent need for media reform and greater media literacy among the public to foster a more informed and cohesive society. Stephen A. Smith's appearance on The View was a masterclass in bold, unfiltered dialogue that challenged both hosts and viewers alike. His ability to navigate and articulate complex political and social issues with clarity and conviction not only ignited a captivating debate, but also shed light on the deeper undercurrents shaping today's media and political landscapes. In a world dominated by polarized narratives, voices like Stephen A.'s have the power to bridge divides and redefine political conversations. What are your thoughts on Stephen A.'s insights? Do you agree with his perspectives on political parties and media narratives? Or do you find yourself aligning more with Sunny Hostin's views on informed citizenship? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more engaging discussions. Your participation keeps the conversation alive and helps us bring more thought-provoking content your way. See you in the next one.